So I know it's been just a few minutes, but I just wanted to update you on what I had going on. Um, Lesson planning for religion. You want to think about what you know in the past has sort of worked, and maybe coming up with different ways of doing it. But I also want to give you a chance to see the realities of what we teachers have to deal with on a yearly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. So brand new books. So again, there's a lot of things that need to be rewritten on my part. It's a reality for people, teachers who are like, here's the new text, here's the new standards, and so therefore every year we're kind of reinventing stuff. Anyway, so with the new books, I've had to think about, okay, well, what can we do today? So some of the thought processes um, that I have is, of course, what did I do? What have I done before? I'm speaking in haste because I have to revisit my math lesson plans. Uh, but yeah, just religion. So let me just show you like what I had to think about in terms of um, everything that needs to go on. Always new ideas. Always new ideas. An idea about putting a real learning board. We'll talk more about that. An idea of putting a Mr. S thought board, because I always have thoughts about what is it that we're really doing. What is it that we're trying to really gain? How can we create a real learning experience? And of course, the usual, like, here's my schedule for today. Yes, I'm a very sketchy guy. I need to scribble my ideas down, and then of course responding to emails and a request from parents, at least one parent. Something that the boss had told me like very last second last week. Sorry, but it's true about giving parents a report of a standardized test. I was not ready for that conference this morning at 7:30 a.m. So I had to put that in the calendar. Thank goodness this smart device has a very convenient, easy to use calendar. And then going back to what it is I have to teach, actual teaching. So I'm assembling a new study guide with the brand new books. And of course, I have to think about what other activities last week we were not able to get around to finishing, and that had to do with writing a letter to oneself, and then other like in-class administrative stuff, like I need a volunteer to be in charge of putting stuff inside the little kids, the kids' little mailboxes, and putting like old assignments in there, and then of course other things, and I'm not even that great at it. But those of you who are not in the classroom on a daily basis need to understand it. This is what we go through. And then on top of that, picture taking. It's this week. I have to announce that. I have to remember to collect that. Chromebooks. We have a one-on-one Chromebook program here. I have to remember that. Do the checklist. Put a check next to all the names of all the kids that turned in their Chromebook user agreements, and I have to track down the kids who did not, and I was told to email the parents, and also add to everything else I have to tell them about, remind them to, and if you happen to be a parent, I'm just reminding you, don't shoot me on the messenger, I'm only a messenger. We highly recommend that you get insurance for your kids' Chromebooks, because it can be a costly affair if for some reason your kid's Chromebook decides to not work, or if it, I guess, breaks or whatever. So I have to remember to talk, to make mention of that. And then, of course, at the end of the day, turn in lesson plans. And yeah, there's certain things about the realities of what I do, however, that I'm able to. There's certain things that I'm able to think about that helps me keep going at 6:08 a.m. But anyways, it sounds like a rant, but it's really here. This is the reality of my profession and the way I go about doing it. And in due time, I'll let you know what it is about what I do. What I get paid for now. That besides fundamental human motivation, you like how I do those air quotes constantly? Yeah, what keeps me going as far as this is all concerned. Anyways, I need to gear up to Personal responsibilities also on top of that, stack it all on top, is to take the dog to doggy daycare. So I need to finish study guide, and we'll be on our way. And I intend on catching up with you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me. I guess I'm a bit of a morning person. Yes, I certainly hit the ground running. So I hope I didn't come across as crazy. But let's just say if I made any points in an emphatic fashion, perhaps there is some sense of urgency to that, or entertainment value. All right, thanks again for joining me, and we shall catch up in a bit. All right, peace.